In today's video, I want to talk to you about something that I think many of us go through, and it's people who put you down and criticise you for everything that you do, especially if you're trying to move on in your life. When I was growing up as a teen, my dad used to say to me that people like to see you get on in life as long as you don't get past them and you do better than them. If you do that, a lot of the times they tend to get a bit unhappy about it. And if you think about it, if you put a load of crabs into a bucket, you will find that one of them will try to crawl out and climb up the sides. And the further they get up, the rest of the crabs will try and grab it and pull it back down and in, back to where they are. And that's a problem that seems to go on all the time. It leads me to believe that people who criticise you, who pull you down, I've noticed that they're generally people who aren't striving or achieving for anything themselves. I've got friends who are successful in life, and I know a lot of people who've been successful in life, and the one thing I've noticed about all of them is that they don't tend to criticise somebody who's trying to move on. They're generally, and very often, uplifting and are willing to help. Now, I know, like everything, there are opposite sides to the coin, where there are some people who achieve some sort of success in life, but then end up begrudging it to anybody else and worrying about anyone who comes in opposition to them in case they lose what they've gained. And so you do have that. I've not yet met any that are like that, and it makes me wonder, why do we allow a critic to get us down? Why do we allow someone who doesn't have our best interests at heart, give them the opportunity to pull us down and to stop us going for our own goals? It's not as though they're the same people that are going to pay all your bills, are they? The worst time it happens is when it's someone who's close to you, when it's a family member who can't see what you're trying to do, and they do their best to stop you from carrying on and doing it. It's an awful thing, but it does happen. And I wonder sometimes, if it's not fear that makes them do it. Not fear that you'll get on, the fear that they're going to get left behind and not know how to cope. It's something you have to think about. But it's up to you at the end of the day, You have to make your decisions for yourself. You have to cast aside the critics. If you've got something that you're planning, that you've obviously done the research about, and you're working your way towards something, don't let someone pull you down. Don't let someone whose words of criticism are going to play on your mind. Because you know, and I know, that when people are critical of you, you take it to heart, whether you like it or not, most of the time. And then, of course, you hear words of praise, and they last about 4 minutes and they're gone. But you always remember the critic. And yet, the critic isn't someone who's looking to move forward. They're looking to hold you back. Before I finish this video today, I want to read you a speech by Theodore Roosevelt. And he talks about this. And we'll do that in a minute when we get back to my place. But before then, I also I like what Billy Connolly said about critics. And he said, in regard to obviously what he does, critics aren't paid to do what they do. What they should be paid for is to get into an audience and watch how the crowd react to the artist and the performer, and give their report on how the performance work affected them. Because very often a critic will pull down somebody they're not particularly interested in and rubbish what they do, even though at the same time, whilst they're watching it, there's a room full of people who love it. I've seen it in all sorts of life, you know. When I used to DJ, I went to an event once, and this guy came up to me and was telling me I was a rubbish DJ and I couldn't do this and I wasn't do that and I wasn't playing the right music. I turned him around, pointed towards a floor full of people dancing and said, "Don't come criticising me, I've got a dance floor that's full." And just grinned at him. Critics are everywhere, in all walks of life. Don't let anyone stop you. If there's things you want to do in life, you go do them. Don't let a critic hold you back. Now, there'll be some people watching this will be saying, look, I'm not looking to do other stuff, I'm getting on in years. But the thing is, you know, it doesn't matter how old you are. If it's something that you want to go out to do or to achieve, go and do it. Don't let anyone stop you. Right, we're back at my place. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so I'm back in the office, and as I said, I want to read you part of a speech that Theodore Roosevelt said many years ago, obviously, about critics, and I think it's very useful and helpful if you're trying to go for something. It goes like this: it's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who's actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends his time in a worthy cause, who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with the cold and timid souls who know neither victory or defeat. Wow. That's all I've got to say. And it's right, isn't it? It's not the critic who counts in your life. It's you, the person out there doing it, that counts. The critics, they're 10 a penny. You don't need to worry about them. Just get on, live your life, do the things that you want to do. And that's it from me, day 22 of the video challenge. If you'd like to click over there, I'll put a playlist up of all of the videos so far in this little series, and I'll see you tomorrow.